James Thomas, we're doing a series with St. Louis Community College on Morning Blend. Today we're at the Forest Park campus, and I'm here today with Jordan Cooper, Dean of the Nursing School. How are you today?
I am good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us on Morning Blend. Now, let's talk about the nursing school.
Sure.
Tell us about it.
So our nursing program's actually been around since 1963. We're actually just about to celebrate our big 60th anniversary. We are one of the largest nursing programs in the area, as we spanned all the metro area of St. Louis. So we have our highest, most north campus at Florissant Valley, all the way down to the Wildwood Eureka campus. And we've done so well because one of the hallmarks of our program is accessibility and affordability. So we take in about 168 students a year. We take them in twice a year. We've got excellent board pass rates. We're known for making really quality students, and we're just continuing to make a good product for our students. They put their trust in us to help educate them, and we're continuing to expand to bring that to other areas of the city.
So I'm a new student. What can I expect in my first year here?
So the first year gets a little intense, all right? So that's what we call our fundamentals and kind of our entry into adult and child health. So in this program, it's a 4-semester program, so 2 years. But it's about a full-time program. You'll have class 2 to 3 times a week. You'll have anywhere between 6 and 9 hours of clinical a week through the program. But the entirety of that is to be able to validate those skills. So you learn how to do those things that everyone knows a nurse does. Give medications and start IVs. But the bigger thing is that you learn how to actually critically think. You learn how to keep patients safe. You learn how to be a part of the medical team to make those really big differences in those patients' lives.
So, all right, here we go into my second year. What's next?
Second year ramps up a little bit. You still
Okay.
got about 2 or 3 days of class. It might be about an hour or so longer, but now you've got 12 hours a week of clinical. And this is where we start to kind of take what we've learn some more advanced knowledge, like cardiac, the heart system, the individual systems, and then we ramp that up, and then you become slightly more responsible into the second year as you learn more so the independent role of the nurse. You start to, as a student, become a member of that team, and you get more responsibility, and it's really kind of bringing everything together to understand the role of the nurse. And you get a lot of clinical time at our program, which is one of the hallmarks of our program. That's what makes it so good, personally.
It sounds like it. Now, we're not just talking about high school graduates. We have people that are coming here for second and third careers, right?
Absolutely. So we are exploring some opportunities to get especially those high school graduates immediately in. But speaking as a former graduate of this program myself, the average age of our student is 31.
Wow.
Most of our students are already working adults in healthcare or otherwise. They have families. But this is an accessible, affordable, and for the most part, convenient way to be able to get into a career path in nursing and actually make a very good salary doing so. As you all know, nursing's very, very much needed lately.
Let's talk about the need, especially in the St. Louis area. You have over 30 facilities, medical facilities.
Yes.
So how large is that need right now?
So if you take into account every hospital in even Missouri, there's about a 25 to 30% vacancy of all registered nurses. So in nursing, it's always been a population of older adults, and we've known for a very long time. The aging population of nurses is going to go out. Those baby boomer generations hung on during COVID, which we were always so grateful for, but
Right.
At a certain point, now they're ready to take their rest and relax and take it to the next generation. So that's one of the main reasons why we expanded the program, was to meet that need. And we're trying to now find other avenues to be able to bring even more nurses into the need. There's just not enough any school can do single-handedly to help this. So we're all together collectively trying to find a way to get more people in the career.
So I've got my associate's degree in nursing.
Yes.
So what happens next? Like, am I getting a job right away? Is there a waiting period? What happens?
Absolutely. So that's the best part about our program, is that either, and no disrespect to our four-year university friends, but the associate program of nursing at St. Louis Community College and the 4-year programs at many of the fine institutions in the area, but they all take the same licensure exam when they're done. So when you leave this program, just like any other graduate, you take your boards. When you pass your boards, you can work anywhere at the bedside. And most hospitals now actually will pay for you to bridge over into that bachelor's or that master's degree, because then that helps them retain them as an employee as well. So yeah, I mean, we've got students that, you know, go to home health nursing, or even, which was not seen 10, 15 years ago, We have nurses leaving straight from our program going into the ICU and the ER, just like their bachelor's counterparts.
Curious question. We just came out of a pandemic.
Yes.
So, do you guys talk about that in your program, the possibility of another pandemic or what we experienced during this last pandemic?
Yes. And I think because it took such a toll on everyone, especially students. I mean, most of our students that have just graduated in the last semester started this program virtually, when this program was never meant to be virtual.
Right.
But in order to get that entry in without sacrificing their ability to finish on time. So we moved virtual. We're now back in person. But the real conversations of what does it mean to be in a pandemic and have to take care of people who are in a grave state of health, and the nurse themselves are seeing that constantly. I mean, it's kind of one of the big things I tell a lot of the students when I see them at their commencements or when they come into our very first class. Nurses cannot take care of others if they can't take care of themselves. So we really kind of push forward on that. And I tell them, you know, we are one of those backbones of the community. They rely on us for that help with our healthcare partners. But we haven't seen a pandemic quite this bad with such a public reaction since the 80s and 90s, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, but we make it through. We always do. Nursing is the most trusted profession now for the past 21 years, I believe it was. 22, I think, just happened. So it's a calling, and they know it's a calling. But we try to give them the most information. What is a nurse? It's not just someone who passes medications. It's what is the role of a nurse? How do they play into this, and how do they advocate for patients? So that's one of our big strengths that we candidly discuss that.
You just gave me my last question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what is a nurse?
Ooh. So a nurse, among everything else, they're everything. It's an educator. It is the direct bedside care. It's also a manager. It's also an advocate. I see so many people come in and say, well, I decided nursing because, you know, med school was too long. And then they get into nursing and they realize, like, oh, that's where all the fun stuff was. I'm like, exactly. So, and nurse can literally be anything you want it to be. I mean, myself, I didn't think that when I graduated from this program, I would eventually be the dean of this program.
Right.
But nursing led me to education, which led me to leadership. And so those possibilities are endless. And it's important to put nurses at the table everywhere. So on school boards, in Congress, because having that outlook, that inherent understanding of the community needs, the role of advocacy, the role of health education is crucially important for this.
Minnesota's talking about that right now, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
We've been sitting here today with Dean Cooper
Yes, sir.
of the nursing school here at the Forest Park campus for St. Louis Community College. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right.